Hello and welcome to Waqar Teaches. These are videos about the end of year sample exam. This is the video for question 9. Let's have a look at the question. Okay, so here we can see the question. It says state the slope and the y-intercept of the graph y is equal to minus 4x minus 6. So there are two key pieces of information in this question. The first is that we want the slope and the second is that we want the y-intercept. Now, the slope and the y-intercept. And we have y is equal to minus 4x minus 6. So how do we find the slope and the y-intercept of this graph? How do we do this? Well, actually, it's really easy. What you have to remember is that the number that comes before the x is the slope. And the number that comes after the x in this kind of formula is the y-intercept. So if you have a look at the slope, y is equal to minus 4x minus 6, you will see that the slope here is the number minus 4. And the y-intercept is minus 6. And this is the same as answer D. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just remember that number that comes before the y is the slope. Sorry, before the x is the slope, and the number that comes after the x is the y-intercept. Let's have a look at some examples, and hopefully you'll be able to see it more clearly. Okay, here we have 4 questions. I want you to have a look at these questions. Pause the video now and answer these 4 questions. What are the slope and y-intercept? What are the slopes and the y-intercepts of these 4 graphs? Pause the video now, find your answers, and then check your answers. Okay, just like we said before, the number before the x is the slope, and the number after the x is the y-intercept. So you can just say 3. Here we have 6 and minus 1. Here we have minus 4 and 5. And here we have minus 5 and minus 6. Okay, one thing that you should remember is, hold on, just pause, let me clear this for a second. If you have 2 graphs that look like this, where there is a number before the x but there is no number after the x, or where you have a number after the x but there's nothing before the x, then here the slope equals 3 and the y-intercept is equal to 0. Remember that it's 0 here because there's no number. It's the same as saying 0. And here the y-intercept is equal to whatever the number is after. So here it's 1. And remember that whenever you have an x, it's always the same as saying 1x. So the slope is equal to 1. So remember that if there's no number after the x, then the y-intercept is 0, and if there's no number before the x, then the slope is 1. Okay, like always, if you have any questions or comments, leave a comment after the video, and I'll get back to you soon. Thank you.